What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Over the last couple of days, we've been trying out some Sunshine Cup, and honestly, I have been struggling to figure out what kind of Pokemon are even good in this meta. But there is one pick that always destroys me whenever I see it, and I figured if you can't beat them, join them, which means today we're going to try out some Shadow Pidgeot. Now, Pidgeot here with Gust getting buffed here recently, as well as Air Cutter for better pacing, and Brave Bird as a way to one-shot opponents. It has a lot of instant pressure in metas where there are very few flying resists. This Pokemon is a little bit bait or nuke reliant, though, and sometimes relying on boosts as well with Air Cutter can be a little bit tricky, but I feel like it is still a very strong Pokemon in this format, despite how inconsistent it could be. Real quick, though, before we get into the battles, I do want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what Shadow Pidgeot can do. Alright, we got our first opponent of the day. We'll see Pidgeot into Shadow Quagsire. Alright, what's the fast move here? If they're on Mud Shot, they don't do any fast move pressure, but they generate energy a little bit quicker. I guess we won't find out. They actually just instantly swap into a Piloswine, and we have our Water Gun Quagsire for this. So the thing is, I don't necessarily need Switch right now. I wouldn't mind it, but my Oranguru as well as my Pidgeot are both pretty good into... Okay, they do high horsepower. That's fine. But they're both pretty good into the Quagsire, right? So I think we're in a pretty good spot as long as either we get a shield down here, or potentially, if we get a knockout, that's also not terrible. Nice, okay, we get a shield. I'm fine with that. Because as I said, I have Trailblaze on my Oranguru. I can just bring this in here, go for the full farm down, and probably one-shot the Quagsire if they want to come back in with that. I will go for a shield on this Icicle Spear. It would hurt quite a bit, and I'd rather stay healthy on my Oranguru if I can. They're going to give me the farm down. That's pretty big. Now, I'm only going to be 4 turns, or 8 turns rather, away from a Trailblaze, that is. And they do bring in the Quagsire. It is on Mudshot. Okay. They could try to catch this, I guess, if they're annoying, which they do. On a Macargo, though, so honestly, I probably would have wanted to throw this anyway. Although, this is a Pokemon that I do wish I still had my Quagsire for. We'll see how this plays out. I know at this point that they could Rock Tomb us, right? Which would be very annoying of them. But they probably would go for that, right? It would make sense. I'm gonna no-shield this, actually. Could be a bad play. But I think it's almost certainly a Rock Tomb, which is what we end up seeing them throw. And now I'm gonna bank the energy and come in Pidgeot here, which could be, again, a little bit of a bad play, but I feel like it's not the worst play I could go for. It's going to be an interesting endgame here now, because, oh, we get a shield there. Interesting. I would imagine my Oranguru just wins the game from this point, but it's going to be weird. This game's going to get kind of odd. My fast move pressure is going to have to be, like, basically everything at this point. I got to shield this up, and as long as I'm outside of range where I get knocked out here, by one attack from the Macargo, I should win. One Incinerate, that is. Plus, I might be at Brutal Swing plus Trailblaze right now. So I think we're not in a terrible position. If we are at back-to-back moves right now, we just win straight up. If not, then this could be a little bit dicey. But yeah, we are. There's this interesting thing with our Oranguru where it's 4-3-2 for, like, the Trailblaze, Brutal Swing. And that pacing here helps us out so much. We get the move off. We don't even have to worry about taking the Incinerate. And there we go. We get the win. All right, next opponent here, Elite, very good battler. Shadow Pidgeot into Hero. All right, this is a very neutral matchup here. I know that Pidgeot should be able to win this the longer it goes on, just because Gust does hurt quite a bit more than the Drill Pecks, or rather the Pecks from them. So we'll see how they play this out. I'm going to shield this up. I want to shield the first move just because at this point, Furo is a little bit scary when it comes to its damage output, right? So, oh, okay, nice catch on their part. What was that? Licky Licky? Okay. I wish I Brave Birded, but, you know, it's honestly not the end of the world. We'll go for the Air Cutter here, and I'm actually just going to bank up some energy and bring in my Oranguru, because at this point, we can put them into a range where just one charge attack from my Oranguru is all we really need. Okay. Oh my goodness, we get a full sneak here. They are at 7. This could be a Hyper Beam of energy, but I would be somewhat surprised to see that in this meta. Okay, so they're at Body Slam here. They're at 5 now, so, like, if they have Earthquake on their moveset, this could technically be enough. But if they don't have it, then obviously this is not enough. All right, Body Slam doesn't quite knock us out. They are at another move already here. But I'm fine with this, because I survived this Body Slam. I have back-to-back Brutal Swings right now. We'll see if they come in with the Hero here. They do, so we are going to undertap this Brutal Swing to make sure I'm not locked into a Confusion. And now I do have 2 attacks ready to go. They do have, I think, a 2 cycle right now on their other guy. Nice, we get the full Gust down there. They're 2 away from a Body Slam on that Licky Licky. I saved a Brutal Swing, though, on a Rangru, and I have a lot of energy here on Pidgeot. So we'll see what they bring in. They bring in the Licky Licky, and I have back-to-back Air Cutters, so if we get a shield here, I can get the second shield. And if they no shield, I get a lot of fast food pressure and potentially a shield from my next move here, too. Nice, we get a knockout. Do I get a boost? No boost. Oh my goodness, that is a cool pick to see. It's not great for them, though, that my team is not weak to this at all. Golurk is such a cool pick. Unfortunately for them, I have a Brutal Swing, plus I just got a boost. And these Gusts are doing so much. I don't even need Quagsire here, but, you know, I respect that pick. I do respect it quite a bit. All right, Pidgeot into Abomasnow. Okay, well, this is almost kind of where I want to see it, but we both do a lot of super effective damage back and forth. But I think Gus does do more raw damage here, so I am pretty happy about that. They throw after 5, so obviously it's going to just be a Weather Ball. No Icy Wind shenanigans. And my Gusts are adding up quite a bit. We'll see if they want to stay in after this. Okay, they swap into a Ninetales. It's a good thing I didn't instantly switch out myself into the Quagsire here. That could have been bad. Yeah, we get his shield off that. That's good. Because Quagsire doesn't actually beat this for some reason. 8. Alright. They have back-to-back Weather Balls right now, but my confusions are adding up. I hope they're not on Overheat. That would be annoying. Oh, the Energy Ball. Interesting. I guess that does do more raw damage. Maybe that's a smart play. So they should be at 4 right now, then. So they have another Weather Ball. But we should survive a Weather Ball, potentially, from this range. We'll see, I guess. Do I? I might not. This is a little bit uncomfortable, not gonna lie. Okay, the Energy Ball again. I'll try to Water Gun down here before they get to another Energy Ball if possible, which we are able to. That was a little bit dicier than I'd like, but we are able to get the farm down. And I think with this energy lead, I can actually reach a move against the Abomasnow before they're able to get a move off against us, but I don't know if I really should stay in here, honestly. So we'll just switch out. And at this point, I mean, I have a lot of energy here on my Pidgeot. It might just be worth a shield. I might be able to reach another move this game. I could have gone for an Air Cutter first here. Quagsire in the back. Okay, can I get both moves off, please? I don't know if I get my next Air Cutter through. If I do, this game is likely a win. If I don't, it's going to be really dicey. Oh, they sniped us down. I think they probably have us now. Because 2 Aqua Tails will knock us out, and they can just barely outpace us. And 1 Aqua Tail doesn't knock them out, I don't believe. Dang, if I got that final move off there, that would have been huge. But yeah, there's just no way. They're at their next move here in just a second. That's unfortunate. I guess I should have gone for the Air Cutter into the Abomasnow. That would have been the right play. I was thinking that there would likely not be a lot of fast food pressure in the backline. Oh, okay, well, what if they're not at the move? Okay, hold on. Never mind. I was giving the full defeat speech before it was over. So I played that perfectly. There's nothing I could have done better. And we are able to win the game. All right, well, we'll take it. Next battle. We'll see Pidgeot up against Shadow Flygon. Okay, probably a pretty neutral matchup here, but I bet my Gusts are able to 2-shield them down if they don't end up going for, like, Sand Tombs into us to bait us and debuff our defense stat. Alright, they're at 5, so they probably throw right now. This is weird. What do they do? Do they bait us? There's no way they bait us. They don't. Okay, they actually... I was kind of thinking they might bait us. Luckily, they don't actually. Okay, we're going to just go for the straight-up Brave Bird here, I think. I want to get his shield back if possible. I'm not necessarily scared of Flygon, but, like, I'm not scared of it at the same time. But I can bring in my Oranguru. That's only 4 rollouts of energy. That is only a Body Slam. There's no way it's an Earthquake. So we can survive this pretty easily. I still have some energy left over on Pidgeot. I could have gone for the Air Cutter bait, but, like, if they would have no-shielded that, that would have been really bad for us. So probably for the best that I didn't do that. Alright. I don't necessarily love what I'm about to do, but I think I have to throw in really bad timing here twice in a row if I want to get my moves off before I get sniped down. So that's what I'm going to do. We have the Brutal Swing. We have the next Brutal Swing. So at the very least, we can guarantee that our Oranguru is not going to completely do nothing this game. And that's always nice. With that said, they can go for an alignment throw themselves here. And I think that'd be a pretty smart play. If they throw an alignment, they can make sure they don't take the confusion, and that probably means this body slam knocks us out. Although if I survive the body slam on like 1 HP, I'd also be pretty happy about that, but I don't think I do. Do I? I do! Never mind, nice. Okay, I don't want to give a farm down over here to the Flygon, so we'll just come back in Pidgeot, go for the air cutter before they're able to do much. And I would love a shield, but if they let this go, that's also maybe fine. They do shield, interesting. I could shield this and get an air cutter into the final Pokemon, but I feel like it might just be more worthwhile to save a shield advantage for Quagsire at this point. I'm gonna save my, or like stall my switch clock here so I can maybe go for a catch on my Oranguru if I have to. I don't know what's gonna be in the back line. It could be a lot of different things at this point. Oh, okay, well they just let me get the farm down there. Okay, well, GG's, that's a win for us. Alright, next opponent. We will see Pidgeot into Licky Licky. Not a great lead, I will admit. I don't love this, but we do have things in the back line that can kind of handle it a little bit. So we'll bring in Quagsire first, see if they have an instant counter swap, or if they don't, then we'll force some energy out of them and build up a decent amount of energy here ourselves. For probably a Shadow Ball coming through, which would hurt us quite a bit, but Licky Licky would not one-shot us with this move at the very least, so gotta take the small victories as we can. 3. What do you mean 3? That's only a body slam. I survived this. Our water guns have done quite a bit of damage already. I was thinking if they're going to build up to a Stone Edge, or a Shadow Ball rather, I'd Stone Edge them. But if they let me do this, I'll just go for 2 Aqua Tails against them. And we'll see at this point, what do they have in the back line? Are they going to be, like, there could be a Piloswine back there. Maybe that's one of the reasons that they... Oh man, if this was the new system, I could have got the Stone Edge. I'm not going to risk it, though. We'll just go for the Aqua Tail here. We somehow did get a shield from this thing. But yeah, Piloswine would make some sense in the back line, saying they are staying in when I say swap my Quagsire. With that said, it could be a lot of things in the back line as well. It could be, I don't know, it could be anything. It could be a Blacephalon. Oh, okay. That's not a Blacephalon, that's a Furo. What do we want to do here? I know that Oranguru is bulky, but we got chipped down by that body slam, so a Drill Peck is going to come close to knocking us out at this point. But I don't know if it quite does it. I think what I'm going to do here, actually, might be a little bit risky. I'm going to let this go. I think that's not the worst play I could go for, but if there is just a secondary counter to Pidgeot, then I could be in some trouble in the back line. But this way, I set up a shield advantage for my Pidgeot, or, like, if they shield this up, I set up a 2 shield advantage for it, too. That Licky Licky is still around. Okay. Is that even good for me? I don't even think so. Because they're up a turn, right? And being up a turn here is actually just catastrophic for us, because now they can just outpace us to that second air cutter as well. And they got the boost! No! I might just get farmed down now. Why did they get the boost? That's illegal. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not looking ideal for us, but... Okay, at least I got the boost too, but... Again, I'm not quite sure how much that matters. Wait, they just threw this game so hard, didn't they? Why didn't they swap there? I thought for sure either we'd see a swap or like they'd throw a move. They let us actually knock them out? I get a second boost, not that that matters at this point. I think one Gust is just going to get the KO. Okay, well, I think they had a guaranteed win con if they would have just caught my air cutter there, but we'll take it. And I think, is that a 5-0? That is a 5-0 to start out. Not exactly the most confident 5-0. I think 2 of those games I definitely could have lost. But we won them all, 24-99, almost back up to the veteran rank. Let's keep it going. All right, we have our next opponent with a Shadow Quagsire lead on Water Gun. Good to know. Water Gun does do a lot more fast move pressure here, but our Gusts as well are chunking them down so very much. I feel like at this point, the best play to make is just build up a lot of energy, put them into a range where just an air cutter would knock them out, and by that time, they're probably willing to let this go, and then I would be able to have some energy for the back line. Now, I don't think that this air cutter knocks out, but I do think that the next Gust will. So likely they just let this go, right? There's not much reason for them to shield this. The next Gust should knock out. I get the boost because we're skilled. And now we have a lot of energy, a decent amount of HP. So what are they going to bring into us here? Worst case scenario is like a Piloswine, maybe. Furret. Okay, well, that's not the worst case scenario at all. I'll go for the double air cutter here. I guess I say it's not the worst case scenario. Our backline doesn't necessarily love to see this. But it's also not terrible. Okay. Oh my, dude, Pidgeot! I'm getting more boosts on Pidgeot here than I ever have on, like, Corviknight in the Open Great League. This is great news. That is so much damage. And now I'm just going to bring in a Ranguru here, because, I mean, I don't get one-shot by a charge attack at the very least. And they have to go double Swift here, I think. I don't think they can go for a Brick Break. If they do Brick Break, then I could try to go for the CMP on this Brutal Swing, but actually, maybe that's not worth it, because, yeah, we just get the farm down anyway. We have to hope that our final Pokemon, or that Quagsire, rather, is good into the final Pokemon. I should survive this and get a move off into whatever their last Pokemon is, but I am low enough at this point that it will be a little bit dicey. You might expect Quagsire to be good here, wouldn't you? Unfortunately, I don't think that's quite the case anymore. 2. Alright. Well, water guns, do your thing. Eight. So either they're 1 or 2 away from their next move, depending on if they go for the bait here. Okay, they bait us. Oh, they actually throw... I thought they were gonna call the catch. I was just gonna keep on going for the fast move pressure. Dang it. Alright, well, we lose this one. I should have gone for the smart play. I kind of figured that they thought, oh, we lost that to a... We could have tied. We could have tied, but the one-turn lag gave us the loss. I thought one Ember would knock us out, too. Well, that should have been a tie, but we also could have got a win if we went for a catch. Dang it, man. This game's great. We love this game. Alright, next opponent, Fortress... Not Fortress, Pidgeot. Someone was just talking about Fortress in the chat. Pidgeot, that is, into Furo. I don't hate this necessarily, but, you know, it's not exactly like a Pokemon I have a hard counter to, so if I can whittle this down in the lead, that's not bad. I know Drill Peck would hurt, so I'm going to shield this up, and we'll see what they want to do from this point. Do they stay in, or do they try to catch a move at some point here? I don't know. There are a couple of options for them. Okay. Well, we see the Furret come in. And I know for a fact here, Furret doesn't want to take a Brave Bird, so we're chucking a charge attack here. We see a no shield, so nice call by them. No boost, unfortunately, this time. But this next Air Cutter is going to hurt them quite a bit, too, if they let it go, so we'll see what they want to do. Honestly, I'm pretty fine with that no shield there. I want this thing gone. I don't know if it has Trailblazer or Brick Break, so I want to make sure that my Quagsire just straight up doesn't get one shot here. I can save a lot of HP still on my Pidgeot and get a lot of energy from this. I think they only get that one Swift off, and I should come out with a Brutal Swing. Nice. Okay, that's helpful. Does Furo come in? No, actually. It's going to be their final Pokemon, an Obstagoon. Well, okay. If they start letting this move go, they're going to get really low on HP at some point in this game. I don't know when and where they want to start shielding. So we'll see what's going to happen. I'm going to go for the Brutal Swing, because they have to no-shield this, right? They don't want to shield a move this inefficient, I would imagine. But they do shield, okay. And that's also maybe fine. Get a lot of fast move pressure here, too. I think I'm going to invest in my Quagsire at this point. I hope this Night Slash knocks me out. It looks like it does. Okay. Boost. I don't love the boost, necessarily. Now I'm going to take a lot more damage from this next Night Slash. Luckily, it's not a +2 boost, but it's still a boost nonetheless. I'm worried that if I let this go, I might just be in farm down range, but I know it's still going to do less damage than a Drill Peck, so I have to let that go. Okay, I probably should have thrown energy here. I have to get a catch now on my Oranguru to win this game. And I don't know if I'm good enough to do that. I know that they're at, I think, 2 right now, so they should be 3 away from their next attack here. Okay, we actually get the catch, but my HP is so low at this point, thanks to that boost that they had. Do I even have the HP here on my Quagsire to water gun everything down? They do undercharge, which is smart, but I don't think that's going to give them enough energy to, like, get another move off here. I get my Aqua Tail, but how much HP does that Obstagoon have? And that's the big question. I think they probably have us here thanks to the boost. Oh, yeah, the boost just won it for them. No! If they don't get the boost there... man, the last 2 games we've lost due to very unfortunate circumstances, but it happens. Alright, Pidgeot into Cradilly. Interesting lead matchup. I guess it's probably not terrible for us, but it's also not going to be great, just because they have access to annoying attacks like Rock Tomb, right? But I mean, I have Brave Bird potentially too. What do I want to do here? I'm gonna just, I think, full send the Brave Bird right when I get it. It might be a bad play. It might be like super obvious that I'm doing this because I'm throwing it right when I get the move, but I don't want to give any extra energy over here if I can. And I would like a shield or a lot of damage. Yeah, we get the shield. I guess I could have baited, but now my Oranguru should be able to come in and at least absorb a debuff, and it also resets the debuff that I had on my Pidgeot. So maybe Pidgeot later on is not as bad here. Same with Quagsire now that I've chipped this down a little bit more. They might stay in after this. And they are, okay. I'll go for the Trailblaze, just in case they swap out. I can boost my attack back up. They're at 5, so they're 1 away from another Rock Tomb, which is fine. Big Trailblaze. Small Trailblaze, really. That is nothing. I hope they Grass Knot and knock us out here. If they Rock Tomb and it's not enough, that's kind of bad. Or if they Rock Tomb and it is enough, that's still kind of fine. I'll bring in Pidgeot and farm down. I guess I won't. They swap out. But Quagsire's not the worst Pokemon for me to see, especially saying that they are on Water Gun here. It means they aren't going to be able to outpace us. And I do like that. But they did switch, so I don't know what that means could be in the backline. There could be a lot of things at this point. I get a boost. That's cool. I don't know if this is the right play, but I will shield this up. Drain Punch! Well, maybe that is the wrong play. What the heck? I get an extra Gust here, I think, because of that, but wow. Never was expecting to see that. I think that bringing in Cradilly here is a bit of a mistake by them, because they're not going to reach another move, and they just give me a Water Gun down. Drain Punch Quagsire, that is crazy. Okay. This is weird. I have a move on my Pidgeot, but all I have is an Air Cutter here. And I'm not quite sure if I get the energy to get to a second Aqua Tail. But I do know that I survived the Psychic Fangs. Alright. Oh, what? Don't I just win now? I think this just knocks out. I guess they're trying to double up on Psychic Fangs here, so they win CMP against Pidgeot. I don't know how much an Air Cutter would have done to them. But wow, that, that was weird. Okay. Alright, next battle. We've been seeing some crazy players recently. Pidgeot into Shadow Quag. Okay, a lot of Quagsires today. Again, if this is on Water Gun, honestly, I think I prefer that just because they don't generate energy as quickly. And even with the more consistent fast move pressure here, it's not like they're going to farm us down before I'm able to just get to 2 Air Cutters myself. Alright. Is it a Drain Punch? It could be, I guess. Maybe that's the secret tech. Okay, Aqua Tail. They obviously are just going to go for the no-shield on this because they know I'm not going to Brave Bird, but they also know at this point that if I land this move, one more Gust should knock him out. So they might just switch out now. Okay, Oranguru comes in. That is not terrible to see. It's not amazing necessarily, but I can at least bait a move. Even if I get a no-shield here, that's fine. I just want the damage or a shield. Okay. I could have one-shot them, but we don't talk about that. At the very least, they're in range now where one Brutal Swing should knock them out. Because that Air Cutter, honestly, probably did more damage than a Brutal Swing would do here. I don't know if they're in range where a Brutal Swing knocks them out. They might be. We'll see how much damage this does to us. Yeah, it should be enough. Oh, but we lose CMP. Okay, well, I didn't know if I would or not. I think I have a bit of attack on mine, but they must have a little bit more on theirs. I don't think that necessarily matters too much, though, saying my Oranguru is still just one more confusion away from my next Brutal Swing. I have some energy still on my Pidgeot. My Quagsire is still, you know, completely undamaged. It hasn't entered the battle yet today, so we'll see what they do. 3. Alright, big question is, what is the moveset of this Furret? I guess we'll find out. Switch out here, because we kind of have to. They let that go. 6? Okay, I think that's only 6, unless I'm crazy. If this is a Trailblaze, goodbye, Quagsire. If it's not a Trailblaze, then that's better. Okay, let's just Swift. Alright, they're at another Swift now. I need to get 2 Aqua Tails against them, and then land an Air Cutter to win this game. Which I don't know if I can. Maybe I can just put them into farm down range too? I don't know. It's gonna be close. Should be at 1 right now. Oh, okay, they're at 0 actually, because they go for that. 5? Wow. This is so annoying, because I don't think I have the Air Cutter loaded, do I? 8. Okay, well... yeah, I didn't have the move. Them going for the Brick Break there is such a heads-up play. Oh man, this set is so much more unfortunate than that first one. Alright, next opponent, Shadow Abomasnow on the lead. Well, I guess if they're on Leafage, this is good. If it's on Powder Snow, it's just like mutually assured destruction. Although I think Gust, as we saw earlier, does do a little bit more damage to them than the Powder Snows do to us. So I will shield the first one up. I want to get this thing as low as possible so my Quagsire doesn't have to deal with it. Weather Ball comes through. And they do switch out there, which makes sense, because who wants to stay in that matchup when they're just going to get, I think, fully farmed down if they did. All right, big Air Cutter. We see a shield. Okay. I'm going to bring in my Oranguru now, because we can survive one attack here a little bit easier than if I try to come in Quagsire. And at this point, we can reach a Brutal Swing. We might lose Switch here, which is a little bit concerning, because I don't want to go down shields to win Switch. But that Abomasnow is going to be low on HP, so maybe it's not even that big of a concern for me on my Quagsire. They probably throw after 1 here to avoid the fast move pressure. No, they actually don't. Interesting. I'm going to let this through. I think that's the play. And then I'm going to farm back down with Pidgeot here. If that's a good play, we will find out shortly. But the Abomasnow will find my Quagsire later on. They have taken a lot of fast move pressure from my Gusts, so I'm hoping that it's not the end of the world. All right, what's going to be in the back? Light Score, okay. Interesting. Did they just catch that on Abomasnow? Insane behavior, but okay. I wasn't expecting that. They sacrificed Abomasnow, which, I mean, I kind of wanted out of the way, but, like, I wasn't expecting that. I think we just win with fast move pressure here, right? Even if they bait us with a Sand Tomb, I think we're still fine. I guess I should have gone Air Cutter with my Pidgeot, but I wasn't expecting that play. I just need fast move pressure here. Put them into 1 Gust range, which they are now. And even if they knock us out, we should be fine. They got DRE, so they do land the move, unfortunately. Which means my Pidgeot will have to come back in. And it will have to finish this off, but they're nowhere near another attack. I should be outside of 2 Wing Attack range. So we Gust down, and we get the win. That was kind of crazy. Next battle. We'll see Pidgeot into Oranguru, okay? I don't actually know how this plays out. Fortune into Fortune moves are always so awkward because, I mean, every time you throw a charge attack, right, you end up giving a full either Gust or Confusion Sneak. So it's just a lot of damage very quickly here. I'm going to go for the double Air Cutter, I guess. Maybe I should have Brave Birded, but that was a CMP. And we're both at back-to-back attacks right now. I think Pidgeot should win the zeros. Nice, okay, we land that move. I should have Brave Birded, I guess. Maybe one day I'll make that 50-50 call correctly. Oh, well, it wasn't even a 50-50. They just Future Sight us. Insane. Alright, Quagsire. I guess try to Water Gun this down if you can. If they get to a move, it should only be a Brutal Swing. And they don't get to a move, so we get a lot of energy at the very least, but won't matter much if an Abomasnow comes in. What is happening this game? Future Sight, yeah, okay. Not great. But we have the bait. They're at 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Do they Weather Ball or Energy Ball? I would imagine an Energy Ball comes through, so they should be at 2, but maybe they're at 3 if they go for the small move. Okay, they're at 2. That's what I thought. Whoa. Okay, well, I guess I just go for the farm down here. Should I actually? That's a bad play. I shouldn't have done that. We probably lose this game now that I did that. I should have thrown energy there. That's on me. Yikes. Okay, well, I need to get another Stone Edge into them. They might just call this, too, because I wasn't even at the energy. Yeah. Oh, man. I thought I'd get the farm down. I thought I'd actually get the farm down, but I should have always thrown energy, no matter what. I should have always thrown energy. That's on me. But, like, all my energy is resisted there by the Blaziken. Alright, we gotta lock in here. We should technically be, like, I don't know, 1, 2, and 1 so far, but I think we're 1 and 3 in this set, thanks to the one game lagging out. So we gotta lock in here. At least try to, like, get a decent set. I feel like it's been on me that I've lost some of these games, though, so I can't blame the team too much. They're gonna go for a move after 5. Good timing by them. But I know at this point I can do 1 Gust and throw an Air Cutter. And while that's not good timing necessarily, it's better than nothing. So we'll see what they do. Okay, they actually come in Quagsire. I'm gonna take a full guess they're gonna shield this, but I gotta get his shield here. I've been baiting too much today, I think. And of course they do shield, so there is that. But you know, honestly, that's probably better for us. We're on Mudshot, which is maybe better for us. It's gonna mean that they're not gonna be in a spot here where they can farm us down. And that's good. But the bad thing is they do generate energy just a little bit quicker, so they already went for a Stone Edge. If they get another Stone Edge into us, we would get knocked out. But Trailblaze one-shots them at this point, so that should be good to get a shield, and we do get one there. And I think we might still be just barely outside of range where a Stone Edge knocks us out. I'm going to let this go. I have a Brutal Swing ready. If they go for an Aqua Tail, then I definitely survive a Stone Edge. I think we still survive barely. And we have the Brutal Swing. Where do they catch on? Obstagoon. Oh, well, I guess that actually is a good catch by them. I was going to say, there's not a lot of things in the game that want to take a +1 Brutal Swing that wouldn't be, like, somewhat damaged by it, but, you know, whatever. I'm going to let the farm down happen here, though. At this point, I think that being able to switch out is more important than saving, like, that 1 HP. 6. Okay. I think I have to go for a Stone Edge here, right? That would make sense to me. Ow. No boost, luckily, this time. Okay, Stone Edge, guarantee the knockout. And now there is still some HP and some energy on that Flygon, but it's kind of low on HP itself. It's a Mudshot Quagsire too, so I have to land a Stone Edge to knock out my Pidgeot. We'll see what they bring in. I think bringing in the Quagsire here is better for them, which is what we end up seeing them do. I'm going to shield this. It could be a misplay, but it's the misplay I'm making. Okay, I'm actually really fine with this, I think. Because knocking out this Flygon is going to mean now they need to go for a Stone Edge into Pidgeot and an Aqua Tail into Quagsire to win this one. I'm going to switch out here, just go for the Gust damage if I can. And they do land a move here before I get my next Gust to go through, but at least I get one Gust against them. And this should put them into... Oh, Aqua Tail's not enough. What are they doing? Well, I just win then. Yeah, okay. I was like, if they already had a Stone Edge there, that is going to make things a little bit scarier, but only an Aqua Tail. We survived that. And there we go. We kind of like... I wouldn't say we clutch out a positive set or anything, because we didn't. That should be a tie, though. One of these should be a tie. And we had some kind of unfortunate games anyway, but still, the team put in the work. You know, I think after today, I can definitely say I'm not the best Shadow Pidgeot user in the game, although it still worked out pretty well, despite the fact that I don't know what I was doing with it today. Going for the baits or the nukes can be very risky at times, but if you know what you're doing with this Pokemon, it can be a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.